just pay the $8. Let's go to the bar. I'm down.
Okay, let's see if we're ready to go now. Okay, let's see if we're ready to go now. Let's see. Hello, everyone. Thanks again for joining us. We are Drinks and Discussions. Hello. We are coming to you live once again at. We are Drinks and Discussions. We are coming to you live once again at. We are Drinks and Discussions. We are coming to you live. We're in McKinney. I'm sorry you heard the echo. Sorry. I had to put all the stuff that we've got streaming right now. So again, guys, this is Drinks and Discussions alongside Trey. I am Brian. We're going to be your host this evening. I apologize for some of the reverb and the slow start, but we've got some new streaming services that we're doing right now, so I had to mute those as we move forward and get this program started. We are coming to you again in McKinney. We're on the corner of Virginia and Custer. We're uncorked. Once again, if you're in the area, please stop by. Please come back and say hello. If you're on Facebook, we're on YouTube, we're on Twitch. So if you're on any of those platforms and you're watching us, please chime in. Let us know what you think about the subjects that we're talking about, the topics. If you have anything that you want to share your perspective, please let us know. Trey, my main man. Well, first of all, let me just say this before we start saying hello. Marcus is not joining us today. He has some prior commitments for his other job that he had to attend to. We miss him, but just want to let him know that he is fired for not giving a full notice. But Marcus is not. Yeah, Marcus is not joining us tonight. So if you've noticed that we are a two-man team tonight, that is the reason why. So, Trey, my main man, what's going on with you? How is everything?
Just elevated, motivated, dedicated. As you can see, I'm here. Marcus, where are you? Been saying something. I don't appreciate you not showing up, brother. It just shows your commitment to the trio, to the Three Musketeers gear.
Yeah.
But I'm doing good. I'm excited for Alaska 3.0. Hopefully we get some solid snow this week. But that's it, man. Just working, tired.
I've heard that we're only getting ice. We're not getting any snow. So I think we're going to have an ice storm that's going to probably last for maybe 2 hours. And then after that, when the sun comes up, it'll be gone. The ground is already kind of warm from being almost 75 degrees, 78 degrees the other day. So I don't know if we're going to really have a whole lot of traction when it comes to that winter storm that is projected to be here in the North Dallas area. But I'm excited. Every time it gets ready to get snow, I'm ready to start the fireplace and I'm ready to bunker down and watch movies and not do anything. By the way, though, speaking of a winter storm, I am so happy to be able to maybe get snowed in because I got the Oculus 2. The Oculus Quest 2.
Nice.
Man. So I'm an Oculus guy, you know this. And Trey's a gamer, and I'm not much of a gamer, but I like VR. So my VR stuff, I'm telling you, man, it has been from miles away different from the Oculus Rift, which has to have a PC. But if you don't have a PC and you don't really like a lot of gaming, get the Oculus Quest 2. You will be in awe of what it's all about. So, Trey, tell me how you been, man, again. Tell me what's going on, anything new before we get into these drinks that we're about to get involved in.
No, just rocking and rolling, just working, making moves in the business. Just, Just so everyone knows, I'm going to be tapping out today on drinking because my throat is on fire today for some reason. So
COVID.
I'm going to be drinking some Sprite. Brian already volunteered his tribute and said he'll drink enough for both of us, though. So make sure to hold him to that.
Always listen. If you guys pay close attention, you will see by the end of the podcast, Trey has never finished an alcoholic drink throughout the podcast. He really hasn't. But we'll get into that later. But we're going to also put in some bets on how many times the year 2022 Trey will catch COVID. I will say 3 times he will test positive for COVID. Oh my God. All right, man. We got Danny here. I don't want to keep him away from his other duties, but our resident bartender in charge, Mr. Danny. What you got for us today, Chief?
Today is going to be the Rebecca Creek Bourbon Whiskey, which comes out of San Antonio, Texas. This is something that you said you hadn't had before, so we're bringing it over, serving it over a fat ice cube. That's PHAT ice cube.
PHAT, man. Woo! This is a sexy. It's a sexy ice cube.
That's right.
Sexy.
Woo! I do like that one.
So yeah, this is a small batch blended bourbon whiskey. Like I said, out of San Antonio, Texas.
Show it over there.
Show it over here.
No, you stand right there. Just stand right there. Yeah.
Nice bottle too. I like the presentation.
It's a nice bottle. It's a heavy bottle. It's kind of awkward to handle, but it is a nice bottle if you're going to have it sit on like your bar at home or something like that. You want to touch it?
I do want to touch it.
The bottle?
You know, it's fun to keep it PG-13, Danny.
Yeah, he's like, touch it. Want to feel it?
Look, I'm glad I could fondle it. I'm glad I could fondle it. Thank you for letting me fondle the bottle. I appreciate it.
Yeah, your bottle.
So I think I've heard. I got a friend of mine. His name is Mike Carter. I believe he's mentioned Rebecca Creek, but I'm not sure. But I've never had it. But when I saw it, it just something in my mind said I've heard of it before. So this is my first time, but we'll see what it's like. It's a what's volume of alcohol?
48 or 80.
43.5.
Yeah,
Okay. Because normally I've been drinking. I've kind of moved my bourbon drinking up.
As far as percentage?
Because I wasn't like at the 40-ish
Yeah.
range, and now I'm moving them up. So now it's like 45, 50 alcohol volume range.
And what made you do that?
Because I got a friend of mine who's a snob. His name is Tim Gunn. So Tim says always tells me I was drinking Basil Hayden all the time. And he goes, you're drinking Basil Hayden and you're not really feeling anything because it's like low alcohol. And I'm like, well, Basil Hayden is like on the top shelf of bourbons. And he goes, yeah, but that's not really that great. So I've been looking at it when I go to the liquor store at some of the other ones that are supposed to be high-end bourbons, and 9 times out of 10, they're like 45 or more if they're pricier. So if you're looking for $50 or lower, it's going to be in that 40% rate or 40% alcohol volume.
Yeah.
Anything over $60 or above, you're looking at maybe getting into that 45 or above.
I did not know that.
Listen, this is why it's called Drinks and Discussions. We're trying to educate you guys on the drinks. I'm being educated too, and that's why we keep inviting people over there at Jerry's Liquor. If you're out there, if you're watching us, or if anybody else is watching us, and you want to chime in and give us some thoughts about some of these things, please let us know.
That's the one up on 380, right?
That's the one on
Jerry's
380.
Liquor. That's where we got
Absolutely.
some of our cocoa bitters we bought from Jerry's Liquor.
Oh, really?
And the cocoa bitters we use in an illegal martini that we have. So it's a martini with mezcal and espresso liqueur and then the cocoa bitters.
Okay, so we need to get Jerry's Liquors over here and have them bring a couple of bottles and do a little taste testing as we do the podcast
That would be
right
awesome.
here.
Yeah. Build up Tuesday nights.
I got you, man. I'm going to do a little test testing for you. I'm going to see if I can make that happen.
Thanks, Brian. One other Miller?
No, I'm good for right now. All right, I think Trey's got some technical difficulties over here. And by the way,
Quick, fast, in a hurry, ladies and gentlemen.
by the way, we've got some people watching, and I have some friends of mine who said that they have been watching sometimes and don't say anything. So if you're Ken, if you're Tim, if you're any of my golf buddies and you're watching, please, I'm telling you, I'm going to call you out until you tell me you're watching, because even if you play this back, I know it's you watching. I know it's you.
And just so you know, we can see if you're watching. So you got 5 minutes. Go ahead and identify yourself, or we're just going to call you out by name. First and last, government name coming out.
So let me I know we were talking about this drinks. By the way, Rebecca Creek is really good.
It looks good. The
It's
presentation was nice. You would think Mac got paid to do this.
Yeah, I know, you would think so. He knows what he's doing. What the fuck is going on here? So I will tell you this right now. As far as bourbons go, this is not bad. It's better than the Garrison brothers that we had last week.
So to be completely honest, no shame to Garrison Brothers. I thought it was great. Man, that bad boy was rough going down a little bit.
Yeah.
Had a little bit of a bite.
It was a little bite. Yeah, I agree with you.
A little bit of a bite. I was like, whew. Maybe I'm just not manly enough for that. I gotta grow some more hair on my chest.
Well, I will tell you, bourbons and whiskeys are kind of an acquired taste to a certain degree. So not everyone is going to taste the same, but also if you know what you're tasting, that's when you're going to actually start to appreciate the differences in each one. So if you like a smokier flavor or more of a heavy-bodied whiskey or a bourbon, the smooth taste is not going to be what you're looking for. But if you want to just have something that just goes down your palate without any really a lot of taste, without any type of like a burn, if you will, then you want something different. So it's just all the matters of I don't know a whole lot about it. I'm learning. I'm trying to get people to get on the show, educate us on these things. So if you guys have some opinions or tell us how we can decipher a good bourbon or a bad bourbon or a good whiskey from a good whiskey, this is Uncorked. They have wines too. I'd like to learn more about wines. A good bottle of wine, a bad bottle of wine. What's your favorite wine? Those are the types of discussions that we're looking for. It's not always about mixed drinks, not always about bourbons and all that kind of stuff. I do have some wines in my house. Actually, after the Super Bowl, my friend has actually told me about this one, but I actually went and bought a bottle of Snoop Dogg wine. It's a red wine, and it actually is not bad.
I didn't know Snoop Dogg had wine.
I didn't either.
I feel like when you're famous, you can dabble in everything. I just had this conversation last night. I can't remember who with, but we were talking about how, I think it was Kylie Jenner, how she had some type of line of like, it was lotion for men or something like that. I'm like, wait a second. A female celebrity has a product that's for men. You know what I'm saying? I'm just like, come on, dude. They're able to dabble into everything.
Everything. You could put some toilet tissue out there and put a Kardashian name on it. It will sell.
Yeah.
And I still don't understand it. Listen, look, more power to you. If you can make money, I don't care how you make it. If you make money, it's fine. But I still will never understand why the Kardashians are so popular. I know better looking people. I know more talented people, even in my own town. I just don't understand that. I don't understand the Kardashians. You will never be able to explain that to me because and they're coming out with a new show too, by the way. Not trying to get on the Kardashians. Really? Yeah, they're coming out with some dude bullshit I heard.
What's it called?
I don't know.
Keeping up with the Kardashians too?
No, I heard something about, I'm sitting at home. I work from home. I'm an IT guy. I browse when they're slow. Something about Travis Barker and one of the Kardashians are getting engaged or something.
Courtney, I think, or Chloe.
And they're going to do a show about it.
Okay.
Listen, I'm not trying to hurt anybody's feelings here. If you are a Kardashian fan, I apologize. But I don't understand it. Maybe you can explain it to me. If you're a Kardashian fan, explain this crap to me because my wife is not a fan. I don't think she has ever watched it. I mean, she may, but she's never told me that she is interested in watching it. But I don't know anybody personally that watches that show. Unless Trey, you want to come out and make it up?
Yeah, I actually have every
make an announcement
on Blu-ray DVD. Yeah.
Shut up.
Ready to rock and roll the whole time.
True story. I know he's a closet Kardashian.
So I remember trying to watch it, and the only reason I wanted to watch it was because I loved how much of an asshole Scott was. Like, that guy was just straight dickhead, and I thought it was hilarious.
Who's Scott?
One of their husbands, ex-husbands. I can't remember.
Oh, he's the guy that's used to be married to the one who's about to get married, to Travis Barker.
Yeah, that one.
Gotcha.
Whatever that one's name. The only one I know is Kim Kardashian for reasons that will remain unnamed. But
Well, let me ask you guys a question, and I'm not trying to, belate this or berate this point into the ground. I've seen a lot of celebrity sex tapes.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I'm not proud of that fact. They're out there. Curiosity, back in the day, I haven't seen any recently, but back in the day when Kim Kardashian's came out. But there's also there was also Nicole Smith and Tommy Lee. They just came out with a movie for them or whatever limited series that they had with Sebastian Stan and some other lady that's portraying Tommy Lee. There were a lot of other celebrities that came out with sex tapes. Why Kim Kardashian? It wasn't even the best one that came out as celebrity sex tapes. Ray J and her was not. It wasn't even that great of a sex tape.
Wasn't she working? I've heard that she was working at like a Sephora or something too when that sex tape came out. Like she was not famous. Like she was working at a regular retail store.
Her dad, I don't even know if the people even know this. Her dad was one of the attorneys. He was a big time attorney. He was. They were wealthy. Don't get me wrong, wealthy. Right. He was up there with Johnny Cochran representing OJ doing that whole J murder stuff. So she comes from a very, extravagant lifestyle. But I don't know if she was working at Sephora or anywhere else when she made this. She knew Ray J, so she was popular enough to know Ray J and Brandy's family. I don't know what that means as far as their financial, but kudos to her. She made it happen. She made something happen out of nothing. I don't get it. Won't get it. Please, somebody get on the podcast. We got some viewers. We're not really supposed to be talking about the Kardashians, but we're talking about the Kardashians. I will never understand the Kardashians. Please, somebody join us and let me know why the Kardashians are famous, if you know.
See what happens when you're not here, Marcus. We just get all the way
off track. Mark,
I feel like it's a guy thing too, because I feel like if we had a woman here, she'd be like, guys, listen, and just give us the entire breakdown, Not saying that men don't watch Keeping Up with the Kardashians, but I just feel like that may be like one of those man barriers where we're like, why the hell? Because is there a show of men that you watch, it's about their life? Their just everyday life?
Drinks and Discussions.
Okay, yeah. Okay, touche.
And you know what? I'm not trying to give this away, but I have really been talking to your father about, and me and your dad are close, and we used to go out and do some crazy things, entertaining things, and I always told him that it would be great to have a sitcom or a show just about the guys that are hanging out. Listen, if you guys steal this idea and you're on my podcast, I will hunt you down. Because there's a disclaimer that you have to sign before you watch this podcast.
Intellectual property.
But I'm serious. It's one of those things, especially minority, successful, business-owned individuals. That's a great... it can be handled really, really well. And I know there's been some shows that have come out that are, black dominant cast, but what I'm thinking and what you're saying are totally different, and I'm 100% on board. We should start the script writing right now.
Let's do it. Send it.
I do it.
We're gonna be famous. It's gonna be called Keeping Up with the Brady Bunch.
Without the sex tape.
Yes, without the sex tape. Please, no sex tape scandals. Anyone that comes onto our show. Really appreciate that.
I had some adult jokes that I would love to have said right now, but I'm trying to keep this a channel, especially on YouTube, that we may eventually be able to monetize. So I'm not going to say too many things that are going to get us stripped. Right. I want to talk to you guys a little bit more because I know we talked about it before Danny came. I just got the Oculus Quest 2. And let me tell you, I'm going to backtrack a little bit. Trey just had a gaming PC that he got all damaged from some water or something like that and got it. So his gaming PC is shot. I've also had a gaming PC that I actually messed up on myself, but it's not the reason why I got the Oculus Quest. But I was working with and playing with the Oculus Rift, which is the headset for VR, but you have to have a super high-duty, heavy-duty PC gaming machine. And so I messed up something because I was trying to replace the CPU, the CPU on it, and it messed up the whole machine. So I got to get another motherboard. But I'm going to tell you something right now. The Oculus Quest 2 is a fantastic piece of machinery. My 3-year-old at home, I came here today, he was playing a game on the Oculus Quest 2. That's how easy it is for anyone to learn. And it was just like one of those story games where you pet the little dragon, you do all that kind of stuff. If you are friends with me, you can look at Caden's Corner. I post a lot of stuff on Caden's Corner about the videos that he does. That's my son. So if you watch Caden's Corner, you'll find what the Oculus Quest is. It's a phenomenal piece of equipment.
So, I mean, honestly, so for those of you who don't know what he's talking about, when he says VR, he's talking about virtual reality. So it's the thing that you actually put over your face and it engulfs your face and your ears. Am I right or no?
No, it doesn't. It has like speakers right there, so they're right there. It's funny. It's surround sound, but you can hear it. But you can also plug in if you want to. It's Bluetooth enabled, so you can put in a headset, or you can just plug in directly from a auxiliary jack.
Right. So the reason I want to touch on this is there's a guy that did a video called Living for 100 Days in the Meta World. So the Meta World is like, if you've seen Ready Player One type stuff, that's what he did. Now, a day in Meta World is 30 minutes. So it's 100 Meta World days, which I don't know if you want to do the math on that. I don't know. I know it took him like 2.5 days, though, to go 100 days straight. And when I say he did not take it off, he did not take it off.
Wow.
He go to the bathroom, anything. He even got the little thing that came on, a warning that you've had this on for too long. You need to take it off.
That's crazy.
And you can just pull out of it. But he went. The point of him doing that was just showing the effects of living in the virtual reality world. And when he came out, he literally said that it took him about 2 days to understand that like what he was doing was like actual real life stuff, you know, like he was still trying to click the button to like
grab stuff. Oh, absolutely.
I was like, what? That is crazy.
I read something also similar. There was a lady who was in the Meta universe who claimed that she was molested by other people in the Meta universe. I knew when I said this, you knew what I was going to talk about, because I can't explain it. I don't know how crazy these people are, why they're this crazy. I would never get this crazy. However, that was funny to me. That was funny for me to see somebody that was so immersed into this augmented reality that they felt that they had to attempt to press charges because a non-being touched another non-being.
Dude, when I heard about that and I watched the video on it, that shit was insane.
I didn't see it. I didn't see it.
Oh, dude, listen. I'm gonna play by play this for everyone that's watching right now. So there's a guy playing. And so you hold these things and they're your hands, right? So you can also buy a haptic suit so that you can feel what someone's doing on you as well. So if someone's touching you, it'll make that feeling, that sensation of touch.
I didn't know that.
Happen to say, hey, I have the haptic suit. Well, the guy thought it would be funny. He ran over with his virtual reality hands and was rubbing her boobs. And she was like, get away from me, stop. And he's like, he's laughing the whole time, by the way. Laughing his ass off. I mean, like literally cackling like a hyena, doing it. And then everyone's over and like, hey man, that's not cool. Stop that right now. That's not okay. I'm like, holy shit. These people are treating this like it is real life. Right
I know,
now.
that's weird.
Absolutely insane.
First of all, why would you buy a suit that gets you stimulated by other touching in a VR world? That's in itself is crazy to me. And then announce it is also crazy to me. And then press charges is crazy to me. I don't understand this at all. But now I know I need to get my 3-year-old son not to play Oculus anymore. But he doesn't get into the VR spaces because there are apps. Let me just make sure this is clear. You don't put on a virtual reality and then be immersed into a virtual world. You have to click on an app. You have to start it. You have to have a sign in. You have to have disclaimers and that you're old enough to actually download the app and create a username and password and all those types of things. So there's safeguards. If you're in one of those things, you're an adult. So this is not something that we're trying to say is preying upon children, vulnerable, or even women. So you're an adult when you go into these gaming things. This is not like the first time people have put online gaming in effect. Well, online gaming has been on since PlayStation, 3? 2?
Yeah.
2.
Oh,
2.
yeah,
PlayStation 2 was all introduced online gaming. So anyway, be careful when you're out there. I enjoy it. I wanted to talk about it because it's great. Hey, Danny. Same cut. It's one of those things where I have just enjoyed this whole experience. We've got Beat Saber on there, which I never thought I'd enjoy. We've got Fruit Ninja.
Ooh, is Fruit Ninja fun?
Fruit Ninja is great, man.
I love Fruit Ninja.
So, and the funny thing about this game is I actually thought about bringing it up here and just put it there because you can go anywhere and be anywhere and play this game. It's amazing.
I love Fruit Ninja. I remember on the phone playing Fruit Ninja. I didn't know they had it in VR. I do want to play Beat Saber though. I played Beat Saber at like Strikes or something like that, and I actually really enjoyed it. So I played a Star Wars one too, where you put the Oculus on.
Yeah, the lightsaber. It's great. If you ever go to the Great Escapes over there at Androdio, they have that Andrade or whatever it is. They've got this gaming thing. Yeah, they have one of those things too, where you're like fighting villains and stuff with the lightsaber. It's crazy, man. Listen,
So much.
on one of our podcasts, I'm going to bring the Oculus Quest 2. I will stream it because you can stream it through your PC as well. It's going to be phenomenal. You guys are going to have to wait and see.
I'll do that for sure.
It's going to be great.
Yeah, no, that's going to be awesome. Like, actually, legitimately, that'll be fun. I'm ready to see what it's like in 10 years, because I think right now we're, like, in the early stages, and there's a lot of weird stuff going on, but I think in 10 years it's just going to be normal. And I think that's why they named it. So, if you guys don't understand, when someone says something's meta, which is what it's called, metaverse, right? Mark Zuckerberg changed it to that. Meta means when you say, oh, that's meta, that's the norm. That's what it means when you say something is meta. So whether it's talking about strategy, whether it's talking about how you code something, you say that's meta. That's the standard of whatever you're doing. So I think that's why they named it that too, is because essentially what they're saying is
that's what the world's going.
Yeah.
I will honestly agree with that, because especially now that we're in a world where we're doing a lot of remote learning, we're doing a remote working. I did this on a happy hour for one of the companies that I work for. I actually was able to get my meta self, my avatar, into a Zoom call. And everybody was like, dude, you're the biggest nerd I know. I was like, oh, and some of the guys that actually do this VR stuff, they were like, how the hell did you do this? I'm like, it's easy, but that's what we're going to. You can actually make an avatar of yourself, be in meetings. You can join, your family members and all that kind of stuff. It collaborates with Zoom and all the other online video conferencing softwares out there. If you just know what you're doing, it takes a while, a little bit. I mean, I wouldn't say that, out of the box you can do it, but if you're smart enough, you'll be able to figure this stuff out. But it's a plug for Oculus Quest 2. If you guys want me to do a video about all the features, I will definitely do it. I will help you get it set up and all the great things about it. It's just amazing. That's all I'm going to say. I know we've taken a lot about it because that's how excited I am. Took a lot of time on this. By the way, Rebecca Creek is still delicious.
Looking good. Yeah, so I think that's definitely something you'll have to do, is definitely do a play along. So I kind of want to switch gears though, and I want to talk about the fun stuff that's going on around the world. I kind of want to get to talking about Maharashtra. That's my boy.
I will break you. I will break you.
Yes, exactly.
Where's that from? If you're good.
Ivan
Okay. From what Rocky movie is that from?
That is Rocky 3.
Boo.
Four?
Yes, it's 4.
Fudge.
Rocky 3 was Mr. T.
Brings him in the. I don't remember what he says, but he's like, "Get loud, get you something," and he goes to slam his fist on him, and he's just like, boom. He doesn't even slams his fist down. He's like, "Oh shit, I'm about to get my ass whooped."
That was about Apollo Creed, and that's when Apollo Creed died.
Yep.
And then he made Happy Gilmore.
Exactly.
Classic.
Yep.
Classic.
It's classic.
All right,
But,
go ahead. I'm gonna let you give me your perspective, because I'll be honest with you. I've been watching it, but I'm also going to tell you some things that you're probably not thinking that I was going to tell you about this subject.
Ooh, I'm excited to see. So first off, I actually think it's really exciting, to be honest with you. I think it's a negative event, right? But I'm really excited to see what the world is going to do, because either these sanctions that are being placed are either going to do, it's not one or two things. There's multiple things that can happen. These sanctions that we do can either make Russia say, damn, okay, this shit kind of sucks, we're going to stop. 2, it can make Russia say, oh, really? Well, here's my little friend that we're going to send off to you.
I'm sorry, I'm listening to you, but
I know, I saw it.
So Arya is a former staff member here, and she's here and she's being a patron, and she's also being a pain in my ass right now, as she knows I'm being live on the podcast, but doesn't want to have anything to say while she's here. Why don't you come say hello on the podcast? Come say hello. Just say hello.
Bringing people on.
So you can actually tell Tim that you are on the podcast before he's been on the podcast.
Hello, Tim. I'm on the podcast before you've been on the podcast. I feel like a traitor right now.
A traitor?
A traitor.
I thought you belonged to me. You don't belong to Tim. You knew me first.
No.
No, we know you know. Yeah, you know us at the same time. Never mind.
Yeah. Yeah.
That hurt. That hurt me. Well, honestly.
Tim and Charlotte come up here way more than I do.
This is true. So therefore, I love them more than you.
My apologies.
It's good to see you.
Good to see you. Bye. Nice meeting you, buddy.
Guys, have a good one.
That was Arya, everyone. She is a former staff member. She has moved on to bigger and brighter things. My wife does know her. She's met her before. So just giving her a shout out. She's moving on to a corporate world, I believe. So, anyway, you were saying?
No, so, like I said, there could be multiple ways. That second way is either Russia's going to say, oh, okay, you guys want to put sanctions and try to, I feel this squeeze, well, I'm going to react with violence. And then that's when it's really going to get juicy, because is America going to get involved? Is Europe going to get involved? If we do get involved, that means China gets involved, that means South Korea or North Korea gets involved. Essentially what happens is World War III starts. So that's why I say it's interesting to see what's going to happen, right? On the other side, I also think this is just a big propaganda type deal. Because one thing that I want to make apparent to everyone, have you ever seen someone that is going to whoop someone's ass, tell that person, I'm going to whoop your ass?
No.
No, they just whoop that person's ass. So it's the same thing. You got Russia showing their muscles, telling them what they're going to do to the Ukraine and what's going to happen. It's just a flex. I'd say there's probably 0.5 chance of something actually happening.
Trey and I had a conversation before we started. He was like saying something to me. I had mentioned something. He thought I said I had gotten into a fight. And I said, dude, he looked at me like I had a black eye. I said, even if I got into a fight, I wouldn't have a black eye. And why I'm bringing this up is because exactly what you just said. If you want to whoop somebody's ass, the things that you see a lot on Facebook and all these videos, that's not the world I live in. I don't live in the world where you push me, I'll push you, you want to fight. No, that's not the world I live in. Either you're going to get smacked down or you're not. Either I'm going to walk away, or I'm not going to give you a chance to go to your car and pull out a piece, or I'm not going to give you a chance to put your hands on me. I'm about to put you in a submission, and then that's it. Done. And if you get the best of me, at least I was the one I will strike you first. And I don't give a freak about assault cases or anything like that. If you get into my face where I feel like my life is in jeopardy, that's just what I'm going to do, especially if it involves my family.
Fight or flight.
Right. So I agree with you 100%. I think all this posturing from Russia, it means something. It's scary. I think they want to control that land because there is more oil on that land, and Russia is only good for oil. Okay? That's what they're known for. The entire world is producing oil and gas. Okay?
Right.
So that's why they're still, even after the defunct USSR, they have still become one of the world powers, third world power. Okay. I feel sorry for people who are in that region. I feel sorry for people who voted for President Zelensky in a very diplomatic or democratic type of a government, and that's what they chose to be.
You know where he is right now?
I don't know where he is right now.
He's in Germany. He's not in his country.
That's crazy. I didn't know that. I can't verify that. I don't know that. But if you tell me that, I'm going to have to tell you that's what you believe.
As of yesterday, that's where he was, in Germany.
But here's the problem I have, because I think it's a serious situation. And,
Right.
and Trey had mentioned to me that this is close to being World War III. I don't know if I agree or disagree. I don't know enough about it, but I've been watching it. But here's what I don't like. I hate when people use this as a talking point for political gain. I have watched, and I'm a guy who watches both Fox News and CNN and MSNBC. And the problem I have in here, folks, is when I saw Fox News talking about how the White House is trying to play this and escalate this as some kind of a talking point because they were trying to bypass some other fake news that they were trying to do about Hillary Clinton. Shame on you guys. Shame on them, because that was a fake story. They fell for it. They ran with it. And that just goes to show you, not just CNN, not just Fox News, but news outlets, if they have an agenda, they get those blinders on. And if they see a story that seems like it's legitimate, they will follow it until they ruin themselves. Okay? And I hate that. Because we are looking at here, if you're looking at the real overall picture of this, there are lives at stake here. There are lives that are really, truly at stake. And this is another reason why I keep saying that when people come to America that are seeking asylum, don't call them rapists, drug dealers, child traffickers, sex traffickers. Don't call them that, because there are war-torn countries out there, even when there's civil war, that people and citizens need a place to go where they can find asylum. And it's not black and white when it comes to these things, and I wish people would stop looking at it with blinders on and thinking that it's just black and white drug dealers from Mexico, from this border, and all this other kind of crap. So I don't know enough about this story, but it bothers me.
Yeah. And it's funny that you say that, because one of the things, I mean, everyone knows, let's go Brandon, that I'm not the biggest President Biden fan. But, I did have a conversation with someone today. I showed them the video that I showed you of the indirect fire going on in the Ukraine. If those of you IDF, that's what IDF stands for. So like mortar rounds, things of that sort is what they're shooting in neighborhoods, by the way. So it was a woman recording on the balcony of our home, just homes getting blown up. It was crazy. But the conversation I had started when they said Biden is a chicken shit and can't wipe his own ass. And I made the comment, I was like, you have to look at it like this, and this is for everyone. Do you want to be the guy that starts World War III?
No.
Do you want to go down in history as the president that cost millions of lives? Because that's essentially what it would turn out to. So you got to think. You can't just act swiftly. You have to be strategic and really think about what you're doing, because doing one thing or other could trigger Vladimir Putin. you know. And he comes off, and in my opinion, I think he runs with. I don't know Vladimir Putin. He's not my president. You know, I don't live in Russia, etc. But he comes off as, you know, everyone portrays him on the media as being a hard ass, riding a horse without a shirt on. He has muscles, you know, stuff like that. And I think
Does he?
runs.
Does he?
I mean, it could have been edited,
Does
right?
he?
But I think he runs with that narrative of being a hard ass, and that's why he acts the way he does, you know? So is he really, in the modern terms, is he really about that life? You know, is he really willing to mass murder people? Because that's essentially what would happen.
So before we get any further, I want to still thank everybody for watching. We got some viewers out there. We're also going to try some food while we're here too, because I want to give you a chance to do that. Danny,
We're gonna do it.
we'll give a food review because I know they close the kitchen at a certain time, and I don't want you to miss out on your burger. But I agree with you on 100%. Get their attention while you're over there. Danny! No, we got it. I don't know if she was bringing it to us or if the food's coming through her or not. Hey, is the food going to come through? Watch it, Katie. Is the food coming through her? Oh, wait. That's fine. What do you want?
So I'm just gonna do that regular cheeseburger.
Yeah. Fried fries.
Yes.
Please.
Oh, wait. I've seen the shirtless pics of Putin. I've seen a lot of those propaganda pictures of his. But I don't understand why you would go to this extent just to flex your muscle. That's why it makes me concerned on what the end game is here. And guess what, guys? It's not just Biden that's here. And I will tell you this. I know you're not a big Biden fan, but it's also cool to see the world start looking at America once again as being the big brother of the world again. They're waiting on us to find out what our reactions are going to be before they make a move. Where before, when the previous president was in place, they laughed at him. They didn't know if he was going to take things of a national security perspective seriously. And so watching Biden do what he's doing right now, he's got everybody, Germany's ear, he's got Canada's ear, he's got all of our allies' ear, because they know that whatever he says now, they're going to follow our lead. And that shows you a lot more respect of what we are as a superpower, the greatest nation in the world is supposed to be. That's what we're supposed to be, America. We're supposed to be the ones who sit there and say, hey, if somebody else is going to flex their muscle, this is our muscle and it's a bigger flex. But I'm afraid. I don't know what it's going to mean. I don't know how further. With war comes more financial turmoil. We're already in a piss poor financial status right now. Inflation is high. And so I don't know if this is going to be another, hit on Biden's, approval rating or not. I don't know what this would mean, because with that, supply chain hiccups are going to increase. It's going to be worse. It's not going to get any better. So war is not going to be a good thing for Americans at all.
I mean, I agree war wouldn't be good, right? But I will disagree saying, because wars do bring the economy up. Every time we go to a war, our economy triples because of the amount of jobs that are produced. Raytheon's already talking about the big contract that they have, that how much money they're going to make if this war happens, which is just crazy. And these are conspiracy theories, right, when you start talking about things like this. But when superpower money, ExxonMobil, which is the richest, I mean, they're number one in the world for money. And then you got Raytheon. I don't know where they rank. But do you think that they have influence on these things?
Well, if you really if you think about that, and I hate to, say that I agree with you or don't agree with you, but I'm just going to tell you, the whole reason that they said that the Afghan war started was for financial gain. They said the Dick Cheney's company that went over there and helped with the special ops and the private security and all that other crap, Blackwater, they were the ones that they started a war just because of financial gain. And I would hate to think that is at play here, because that perpetuates a level of fraud on the American people and the citizens of Crimea, and what's the other country? I can't even think of it right now. The Ukraine. And just say that there are some types of warfare that happens, and you lose innocent lives there. I'm not a conspiracy theorist, but I believe what you say. I believe that war is a big business, and I believe that it does, and it can spur economies that are, dragging.
Yeah, it creates jobs. When you're trying to mass produce weapons of mass destruction, tanks, vehicles, it's just going to create a boom in jobs right there. But that's why I say, it's interesting. It sounds terrible, right? When I say I'm excited to see what's going to happen, but I just want to see what's going to happen. What's really going to happen? Are we going to go to war, or is all this going to fizzle down? And because you have to think, if Putin bows down, then everyone's going to be like, oh, Putin's bowing down to everyone else.
He didn't start.
There's going to have to be a big give and take, So I don't know what that give and take.
But let me ask you, because you started this by saying about the sanctions that Biden is levying on him. No, I heard that today that he was levying sanctions.
Today?
Yeah.
So I know Great Britain did.
Yeah, we did today. Biden had a press conference. What difference is that going to make? How's that going to deter Russia from doing anything? Sanctions has never worked.
Well,
on Russia?
Look at North Korea, because we crippled their economy with sanctions.
I said on Russia. I finished my statement saying on Russia. Russia doesn't care about sanctions.
What were the sanctions on, even though?
I don't know.
Because we put sanctions on Mexico.
Yeah.
Did you hear about
avocado? Yeah.
That word.
Look, and I told everybody, look, I'm allergic to avocado, so I don't care.
Are you being serious?
I am 100% serious. I'm allergic. And let me tell you the story real quick. I know we're still talking about war. So Jennifer and I, my wife, we were at Dave & Buster's way back when we were dating. We go up to the top floor to actually, we were going to go to a movie. We went to Dave & Buster's on the top floor and had some food. And I had like some nachos or something that had avocado on it. We go to the movie, and in the movie, this is a true story now. During the movie, I start itching big time. My hands are itching, my arms are itching, and I just can't really I'm not coughing, but it's not like it was a bad. It wasn't a bad reaction, but it was something that I was concerned about. And Jennifer was concerned. We didn't even stay for the movie. I don't even remember what the movie was, but it was so bad that it was I tried eating avocado again, and even a small amount, my ears start itching, my hands start itching a little bit too. So, I'm sorry for people who are, love cravers of avocado. We went to a Super Bowl party, and one of my friends actually made avocado dip, and it was supposed to be great. I couldn't have it, but more power to you. As long as you know, that's going to be the most expensive dip that it comes to the party from now on. Avocado dip is now going to be the most expensive thing on the table, next to caviar. And I don't even know how much caviar is, because I've only had it one time, but I didn't buy it, but I did have it. Trey's on the bathroom. He's taking a little break. Just letting you guys know. He left me here for a little bit, so I'm trying to cover as he goes to and uses the facilities. I do have some people watching. That's the great thing. We're on multiple platforms, by the way. We are on Twitch, we're on YouTube, and we are on Facebook. So if you're on any one of those platforms and you're watching us, stop by, say hello. We're at Uncorked. We're on the corner of Virginia and Custer. And then we're also on all those platforms that I had mentioned. So if you want to comment, feel free to comment. Don't be bashful. If you don't care, if you don't share the same type of perspective that we have, share your perspective. We'll be more than happy to, include them in the discussion. But as I was telling Trey as he's back now, is we went to Dave & Buster's, had some nachos before the movie. My hands start itching. My ears start itching. And we couldn't even make it in the movie. That's how I found out that I was allergic to avocado.
Wow.
Avocado of Mexico.
That's crazy. That blows my mind, honestly. I could. The reason I say is just because I'm not allergic to anything. So every time I hear someone and like something they're allergic to, it always just like blows my mind. I'm always like, what's going on?
I had no allergies before then, and I don't have any allergies that I know of since.
That's crazy. Because like if you think about it, how old were you at that time?
Younger, 40s? In my 40s?
So for 40 years, you didn't have a gosh dang avocado, is what you're telling me.
No, that's not true. Because my sister was married to someone who made superb avocado. That was the first time I actually liked it. When she made this avocado dip, it was fantastic. And no symptoms, no issues. And then this.
Crazy.
But according to my wife, she will tell you taste buds change every 7 years.
Thanks, brother. I appreciate it.
Taste buds change every 7 years.
Really? I've never heard that. Thank you.
That's what my wife says. So my only expert in this matters is only going to be my wife. And I believe her.
He said, let me get a French fry.
Let me get a fry.
Check it out. I don't know if you can see it because we're a little blurry.
Let me have it. I'll show you guys. And by the way, the food here is fantastic. So do you see that? The food here is fantastic. So just because of me having that display of your food, take some more fries.
That was payment right there, huh?
So this is great. We've already talked about the war, the potential war, and things that may come out of that. And before I get into a subject that really, I want to sink our teeth in, I just want to say that we hope you guys are safe this weekend or this next couple of days, because there are supposed to be some freezing weather, and we want you guys to be safe. If you haven't made preparations, make sure your faucets are dripping. You don't leave them dripping a little bit so they don't freeze. Take care of your pets and your plants and your pets, and let me know if there's anything that you guys need. If there's anything else that you guys need to prepare for this winter storm that we may have.
And if you need anything, I am local, and if it's an emergency, I will help you out. Not to toot my horn, but I did live in Alaska for 5 years, so I drove on ice and snow for 5 years straight, and I do have an all-wheel drive vehicle. So.
Are one of your things not muted on your phone? I'm hearing it's like a reverb or something. I'm trying to figure out what it is. But anyway, do you hear it? Do you hear it? Oh, it's just me. Yeah.
It may be the echo from the microphone that you're hearing. Like voice being picked up.
I haven't.
My voice double.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, it's picking up from there.
But I haven't moved it. I haven't moved it.
Who knows, ladies and gentlemen? Who knows?
Who knows?
If you guys, this is a more relaxed, chill, laid back type of vibe deal.
Without Marcus.
Yeah, without Marcus, because Marcus, you're the one who makes everything tense. We don't like you.
You know, I was normally Marcus is always saying, "You guys go at it hard. Euros are back and forth, back and forth, back and forth," and which we normally are, but we're a little bit subdued until we get into some of the subjects that we're going to talk about here in a little bit.
Oh, I'm excited to see what you're going to say now.
I'm trying to tell you, it was it's a surprise that I'm really waiting to hear everybody's perspective. But what I was going to say is there were some things that happened outside of potential aspect of war that we didn't talk about. And you weren't here about the Super Bowl and all that kind of stuff. We don't talk about the Super Bowl or any of that kind of stuff. There was something that I was going to talk about before I got into my meaty subject. How's that burger, by the way?
Not bad.
Not bad?
I'm a burger connoisseur, so I have really high standards.
Okay.
I put it like this: Double Eagle Del Frisco's, their famous cheeseburger, mid tier over there. And it's $25.
Well, I was saying at Del Frisco's, it's mid. What's your favorite burger place then?
There's a place in downtown Frisco called Haystack. That's a top 5 though, for sure. You've never been there, I'll take you there.
I've never been there.
You've never been there? We'll go there tomorrow for lunch.
Okay.
I'll see you there at 12.
Seriously. And by the way, I will tell you, and you ask EJ, I will put my burger against anybody else's burger. And I want your honest opinion on my burger. That you're a burger connoisseur. EJ will tell you that my burger is the best burger he's ever had.
Really? Well, I guess you're making a burger this Sunday. I'll see you on Sunday, buddy.
Sounds like a plan.
I'm not wearing a mask.
COVID's over, isn't it?
COVID, yeah.
Is COVID over?
The pandemic is done.
Yeah, I think the pandemic is over.
The pandemic said it wrong.
There was something else I was going to talk about before I got into the meaty subject of what I was going to talk about.
Get into the meatiness because you have me I'm curious.
I don't want to talk about it until after you finish your burger.
Oh, I'll stop and say whatever I
No,
have to say.
I'm going to wait till you finish your burger. You got about like 10 minutes on that burger. So I want to, the All-Star game. And here's another thing. I want to talk about Juwan Howard's smack that was heard around the NCAA.
Oh my God.
What?
I didn't look at what he said. What did he say to make him slap him like that?
All right, I've watched this, and I was prepared to talk about this. It wasn't what he said. So here's the little backdrop. Juwan Howard's team was losing. And, they had players on the floor. The other team had some of their starters still on the floor. And the game was already out of hand. So Juwan Howard was already in his coaching feelings. He was like, man, why do you guys have like a starters on my floor when I've got my backups out here and you still got starters out there? And running up the score on us, making us look bad. I would have a problem with that too. I'm just saying, I would have a problem with that. And then I start watching it, and as they were getting ready to shake hands, the coaches shaking hands and all that kind of stuff, the other coach, and I'm sorry, I don't want to mention teams outside of Michigan, but the other coach for the other team was pushing Juwan Howard. And Juwan Howard is like pointing to this guy and go, don't put your hands on me. I don't want to shake your hand. I don't want to care. Because what you did, I'm mad about it. So Juwan Howard didn't really want to shake his hand. So the coach started grabbing on Juwan Howard, and Juwan Howard was like, don't put... And Juwan Howard is like, you over me.
Yeah.
And so...
Right?
Huh?
He used to play in the NBA, right?
Juwan Howard played with the Mavericks and a bunch of other teams. Absolutely. He may have won a championship with Miami Heat. When LeBron James went, he was on the other team, I believe. If you guys are watching, correct me if I'm wrong. I think he was on a championship team. But Juwan Howard was like, no, no, no. And the guy kept still talking and still talking. Even when the students were trying to break them up, this guy was still talking. And you got this 6'6" guy who towers probably over most of his own players, larger than life, has the longest arms, and he smacks this coach.
That's so dude. If a man were to slap me, oh my God.
That's
That's like getting spit on too.
yes.
It's like if someone spits in your face or slaps you as a man. That's the most those are the two most disrespectful.
Listen, if you slap somebody, that means they're not worthy of you closing your fist because they're that big of a wimp to even bother punching them with your fist. Because you could do damage with your open hand. That is the most disrespectful thing you can do in a fight to another man. It's just slap them.
What happened after he slapped him? I saw they pulled him apart pretty quickly.
That was it. Juwan Howard is actually he's suspended for the rest of the regular season. If they make playoffs and they do the tournament and all that kind of stuff, he can still coach. Good for him. I don't want to have Juwan Howard mess up his coaching career because of his let the emotion get the best of him. But also, I don't know what happened to the other coach who put his hands on Juwan Howard first. If you put your hands on me and you don't punch me, you still touch me first. You assaulted me first. So whatever you get in return, it's on you. That's it.
I do think that whole situation is crazy. I just think because you never see coaches get like that. So he really must have been in his feelings about how the game was going. Because I have a totally different outlook on that as you. If I was coaching a Pee Wee's team, we were whooping the other team's ass, I would tell my kids to run it up. I would not care. But that's just my outlook on things. I understand there's having class, but we're not going to stop because the team's up.
Well, listen. I don't necessarily think you have to sit there and say, run the clock down, don't shoot the basket. But if you've got your starters out there and all they're doing is just, running up the score, I don't believe in that. I believe that the kids, not my ego, the other coaches, the other schools, your record against that school, but those other kids deserve to actually lose with some dignity. Okay? So if we're running up the score, I got my bench players who have never played a game. I've got the worst 5 players on my team. Not saying they're bad, they're just the worst on my team. They're playing, and you can put whatever you want to put out there. At the end of that 24-second shot clock, 20-second shot clock, or whatever the shot clock is now, whatever it is, we're going to shoot that ball. And if we score, we score. But we're not going to shoot before that 20-second shot clock is going down to 1 or 2 seconds.
Right.
Okay, I'm not saying that we're not going to go out there and play. We're going to practice against you, and we're going to score some baskets. We're going to run our drills. So I'm not saying that Juwan Howard was, I'm not backing him up. I'm not defending him because he got mad because his team got blown out or whatever. I don't care about that. But I think both coaches could have handled it a lot differently.
I mean, regardless, he's in the wrong to put his hands on him, no matter what. But I didn't. If he put his hands on him, I don't care. You defend yourself. You know what I mean?
Who was the coach? Somebody, if you guys are watching, because I know we got watchers. Jimmy Johnson got beat a lot. And was it Buddy Ryan? Buddy Ryan and Jimmy Johnson. Jimmy Johnson and Buddy Ryan did the exact same thing. I don't think Jimmy Johnson smacked him, but they had to get separated on the field between Buddy Johnson and because the Eagles kicked our ass.
I think that's. So I think those are unwritten rules in basketball and in baseball. Because I don't know if you noticed, but in baseball they have the same thing.
Yeah, running up the score. Right. You don't hit a home run.
Right, or even like stealing a base or
Right.
whatever. Mm-hmm. Like almost at the same time, you just let them get out because then it changes the inning and then you win the game. So instead of trying to hit the ball, you just let the pitcher strike you out. Game over.
So there's a thing, and I hate to say this because we were talking about the Kardashians earlier. My wife and I's guilty pleasure is watching Celebrity Big Brother. And there was a guy who was actually winning the game, and they were like saying, "You win gracefully." Okay, you win and you lose with grace. And that means not rubbing it in people's faces that you won, not doing the same, all these little dances and all that kind of stuff. So I agree with you 100%. You teach people, and I believe this 100%. You don't learn anything by losing other than to lose. There's no lessons learned other than losing by losing. Okay? So if you lose and you continue to lose, you're only learning to lose until you win. If you win, then you understand what it means, how it feels to win, and why you don't want to lose again, and how miserable you feel, and how much you will hate to lose more than you love to win.
Right.
That's something that I'm sorry. What's going on? What are you asking?
Hey, what are you talking about?
We're talking about everything. What do you want to talk about? Glasses?
You know what? I think he's talking about when the first time I walked in.
Bar. She was from
You're from Georgia?
Georgia, and then she moved down here, and she didn't know anybody. She talked about
I don't want to do this. You know what? I tried to do that, but
Okay. Anyway, that's what happens when you do a live podcast. You have people. We don't shy away from anything. We like to talk to people. So I don't know what that was, but it was a little weird. I have no idea what she said. She might be a little inebriated, but that's all I'm saying. Anyway, I've seen people and coaches get into their feelings when they have to apologize and be contrite after the fact. I probably am done the same thing too, because I used to coach my nephew's football team, soccer for kids and all that kind of stuff. And there are times where you have to realize that you're doing what you do in front of children, and you don't want to show that aspect of yourself. And Juwan Howard said it too, is that he has to mentor these young adults who have to, even if they pursue their career further in the NBA, that these things are going to happen, and you have to mold yourself and control yourself in those types of situations.
Yeah. I mean, I don't get mad because I think everyone loses their cool, right? He's a grown man. These aren't children. These aren't little middle schoolers, high schoolers even. These are college kids. They're adults. Some of them are 21 years old, so.
But were you an adult at 21?
Looking at it now, no.
No.
I was still a kid at 21
Right.
for sure. But at the same time, I mean, was I still super impressionable? To an extent, yes. But I wasn't like I was at 12.
Oh, no.
I see a figure in my life that's a man, and I'm like, oh, shit, I want to be just like him. Was I like that at 21? No.
Well, I've always told people, even when I talk to my nephews or, anyone else that I talk to on the side about just advice about life, is I was an impressionable individual, especially growing up as a Jehovah's Witness. It didn't really have an identity. You have the people that you grow up in the Jehovah's Witness world, and then you go have people that you go to school with and all that kind of stuff. There were some times where there was a little conflict within myself, who I thought I was supposed to be. That's why I keep telling people all the time is let yourself grow. Don't put yourself in a mold to where you feel that you have to fulfill a certain type as an individual, as a black man, as a white man, as a Asian, whatever man you want to be, as a woman, as a transgender, as a gay, or whatever you want to be. Don't feel like you have to fit into a mold, especially when you're young. Wait till you get older, experience things, and see how they come at you, and how you respond to those things, those adversaries or those adverse situations that come to you, and then you become more and more of who you are. Your character starts building. Character builds not in high school, not in junior high, not in college. Character builds after that. when you start really starting building characters when you get a job, when you start having relationships, when you have kids, those are character builder traits.
Right. I agree 100%. Yeah. It's a sweet deal. But I'm kind of looking at the chops right now. I'm ready to talk about what you want, because we've been way too cordial tonight. I'm ready.
Okay.
Excuse my language. I'm ready to get on your ass.
Okay. But it has nothing to do with what you think you're going to attack me with, because I know you want to
I don't know
go.
what I was going to attack you with, because I don't know what we're going to talk about.
Okay, so here's the deal, because you missed it.
I'm not going to attack you ever, by the way.
Yeah, but I'm not gonna say you don't attack me, but we go at it, and sometimes you like me to serve it up for you to like smack me down, and sometimes I like for you to serve it up so I can smack you down. It's a give and take, love. This is what family members do. But I will tell you this right now. I don't know if you were here the last time Marcus and I was here.
Yeah, we're all three here.
When was it the last time we were talking about Joe Rogan? You weren't here.
I wasn't here before that. Oh, man. Were you shitting on my guy, Joe Rogan?
No. I'm not shitting on Joe Rogan. I told you, this is about me.
Okay.
This is about me.
Okay.
And we've had these conversations about Joe Rogan and all that kind of stuff, and the N-word and how he said the word instead of saying the N-word, all that kind of stuff. So, I was on the golf course.
Oh, no.
And this is, I'm not, what I'm going to say, I'm going to preface this. What I'm about to say,
Tell me someone called you the N-word.
what I'm about to say is no indication, or nor am I implying the person who said it is racist. However, I think that there are some racial tendencies there.
Okay.
First, not because of this, but there's some other things that were said. So this guy, we're on hole number 7. It's a par 3. And our course, we have GPS in our carts where you can actually put your Bluetooth connected and you can play music through the carts. But also, if you bring your own Bluetooth speaker, you can play music on the golf course through your own Bluetooth. Everybody does it. As long as it's like blaring through people, it's got to be in a one of those things where it's like very low, where you can hear it, but not the other people that if you're on the putting green or on the green, the people on the tee box aren't going to actually hear your music. So we get on the tee box, and we weren't even talking about anything. I'm playing music.
What music, by the way?
Any music. Oh, it's my workout music. And let me qualify this. My workout music is on par with my best friend. He listens to NWA. He listens to a lot of stuff. Even before I listen to a lot of rap. I'm an R&B guy. You know that? I'm a ballad guy. I like to sing. I like to sing to my women. My woman. My wife. My wife. That's my wife. My wife. I like to sing.
He's joking. Code red.
No, hold on 1 second. Because my wife knows when I get ready to cook, and even if she's not even home yet, I put, hey, Alexa, play smooth jazz in kitchen. While I'm cooking, I like to hear that smooth jazz. I'm ready to go. But on the golf course, I want to hear my workout music. There was some song, I don't even know what song it is. I'm not in the same cart with this guy, but he plays with us. He's a good guy. I like him a lot. I love his wife. I'm only going to mention his name in this story. But if he ever watches this, I just want to let him know. His wife, I saw his wife up here the last time we had the podcast. And she was like, oh my God, your son is so this and so this is great. I love watching your wife. And my wife loves like to have interaction with her. But this guy said to me, as we're getting up to the tee box, he goes, see, that song said the N-word. And he didn't say the N-word. He said the real word.
Did he say hard R or A?
Hard R.
Fuck.
Hard R. I stopped in my tracks and I said, what? And he started saying, this is that Joe Rogan thing and all this kind of stuff. And I said, why do you feel that you have a need to even say this word? Where are you in your life where this word matters to you?
Did you say this?
I'm telling you almost verbatim what I said. I said, why are you thinking that? That's odd to me. That's super odd to me.
Hold on. We have to talk about this.
Oh, we'll talk about this? Hold on. Let me finish this. We're going to talk about this. We're going to talk about this so bad because that's so wrong in so many levels. I feel like I want to throw up in my mouth a little bit. A lot of it. That was just, what the fudge just happened? Ugh. Okay. Let me finish the story.
Guys, you're in for a good one.
So I sat up there and I really asked this guy, I said, do you really feel like that you need to say this word? He goes, but they just said it right there. I said, but why do you feel like you need to say it? I said, you could have just said the N-word. And the other guy that I was playing with, he was like, oh, snap. And I wasn't going to fight this guy. These are older gentlemen, by the way. Hey, that was not okay. They left together. And we were talking to, hold on a second. Listen, she was over here drunk off her ass.
Yeah. That was a little.
And that dude right there was talking to us before we even came on live. And he was holding hands with this woman. I wasn't going to say nothing because you couldn't say nothing either. But they're grown ups. But that was this.
That was a little sus, a little bit. I was like,
if I ever see that, if I see that dude again, if I see that dude again, I'm gonna call him out for his bullshit tonight. Cause yeah, that's all. But he walked out holding her hand. I don't know. They were kissing right there in front of us. Say, look, we're not trying to sit there and put this on Facebook Live because that's what that. Look, that was disgusting, man. What I just saw was a man taking advantage of a woman who was intoxicated, and I have a problem with that. I didn't either until she walked out there, and then he got up and like held her hand for her not to fall over.
Yeah, she was like, she was like, come back to my Airbnb with me. And I was like, yeah.
See, he was over there. I didn't hear that shit.
So I was like.
And look, Miss Wine Drinker over there didn't even try to save her over there. Miss Wine Drinker. I'm just kidding. I don't know. Anyway. Oh, okay. But it was weird. You saw that though, right? No, you've been here for like an hour. We saw you when you came in. Everything's on camera. We got you on Facebook Live. Anyway, this is weird. It was weird. We stopped what we were talking about, and he goes, oh, we're going to talk about this in a minute. We're going to talk about this in a minute. Oh, my God, yeah. No. We're still live. We're still live. Yes, we can hear everything we're talking about right now. We're live. We no commercial breaks.
Coming to you live from
Yes. Factual. That is exactly where we're going right now. No,
we're Delaney's in McKinney.
Yeah.
You know all about the.
Yeah.
Listen, I don't know what we're talking about. We might have been talking about something serious, but right now, this is way out of line. This is crazy right now. But it was fun.
I'm gonna reel it back in.
That's
honestly what I was thinking. I'm just mad that nobody's swooping to him, trying to lead him out by his hand. Jennifer, we're joking. If you're awake still, we're joking.
Yeah, it's only a joke. Yes, absolutely. I still can't believe what we just saw.
Yeah. So for the stream, this guy, around my age probably, he definitely was older than me. Maybe he's like mid-30s. Just walked out with someone that's my grandmother's age, and they were making out right next to me. and it was the weirdest
What was
shit
that?
I've ever seen in my life.
She was drunk before she got here. She was drunk before she got here. Absolutely. Absolutely. That's where I'm going next. Listen, hold on. It's the after pod. I had an R. Kelly song that I was going to sing, but I don't want to sing R. Kelly. Oh, is that frowned upon? I'm sorry. Sorry about that. Anyway. EJ Wells, that's his after party, everybody. Just go up to EJ Wells. But that was this. Listen, I won't even say disgusting. It's not disgusting. It was, if that's your thing, that's fine. Everybody, look, how many times have you gone to a bar, hooked up with a stranger, and made out, and then your boys were like, dude, you made out with this person at the bar?
0 times. In my entire life. 0. I'm shallow.
You shy boy? You playing shy boy?
Shallow, not shy. I won't do that.
Well, I don't. Me and Danny can tell you some stories. By the way, me and Danny can tell you a story. Me and Danny. What? I can't be the only one on this island. Look, am I the only one on this island that I've actually been caught in my early days where I was at a bar, ended up making out with somebody that I really didn't want to make out with? Yeah, it's happened, right? It's happened.
Thank you. I just said the same thing. I said I've never done that in my life. No.
Stop it. I'm the honest. Look, this is a podcast where I'm vulnerable. I will tell you the truth. I'm not trying to hide behind the camera. I'm going to tell you all the truth. If you don't want to admit the truth, I will admit the truth. It has happened to me. And I had been like the guys who were like, come on, let's go. It's time to go. No. Listen, I will be honest. Listen. It's been those days. It's been a long time.
There's a saying that I like that.
Yes.
Any in the storm.
My wife is like, ooh. My wife listens to everything we say, every podcast. Listen,
to taking grenades.
Look, my wife has a history. She knows I have a history. That's one of the things that brings this podcast to being great, is because don't shy away from things. I'm not saying I would do those things now, but those were times where when you're growing up, you do things that are stupid and you regret, and those are not things that you want to, keep continuing to do. What we saw tonight, they were old enough to know better.
I mean, she definitely was my grandmother's age. She was old as dirt, ladies and gentlemen.
She was.
And that guy was around my age, and they were making out.
Yeah, what?
That was weird shit.
I thought that guy was my age.
Maybe, yeah.
Yeah. He had to have been like maybe
He had
50.
gray hair. He had a lot of gray hair.
He was 50, and she was probably 60, 75.
Yeah. But she was definitely way too drunk. She was
That's
drunk as fuck.
the bigger problem. And I will tell you, I don't like it when men prey on inebriated women. And I wish I would have saw it earlier before they walked out, because I would have said, hey, are you guys okay? Or something. But we weren't paying attention.
Yeah. I mean, hey, she's old. She probably hasn't got any in a very long time, brother. Maybe she's going on a year dry spell. He's helping her out.
No, I learned a long time ago that even if you are inebriated, you don't want to have. I don't want one of my guys to have sex with a girl who's inebriated. I just wouldn't. I would I would fight you. I would fight you right now if you were sitting up there and you were ready to have sex with somebody who was inebriated. I would fight you right now.
Whoa. We're just kidding, stream. We're not talking about violence.
No, not violence. No. I'm just saying, you got to protect the vulnerable. Just because somebody goes out and has a good time and they're inebriated doesn't mean that you should take advantage of them.
I agree.
If you're a woman or a man, no one deserves to be... Tim is an asshole. I told you.
Tim's out here slaying grandma.
He's like, hey, just go. Hey, you better get. Hey, I got mine.
Age ain't. Oh, well, actually, you can't say shit like that anymore.
I can't say R. Kelly.
Yeah.
But I will tell you. No, but I can't say that either. I'm trying to think of how I can like clean that up.
It'll be PC.
Haters gonna hate though. Haters gonna hate the game, not the player.
Actual.
So I'm just trying to tell you, why the hell is Tim getting in on the juicy part, but not even on the other stuff that we were talking about? It's always so very last minute that Tim wants to say something. Not about me being called the N-word on the golf course.
Was Tim with you?
No, he didn't play that game.
So I want you to finish. So what happened after you finished talking to this guy?
I didn't say anything else.
Did he apologize?
No.
He just said okay.
He was just kind of like, why can't we say it? Why can't we say it? And Brian's listening to a song that said it, and it was just one of those things where I was just like, I got into it for a little bit, and I was like, this guy's not worth actually having this conversation with. I mean, he's older than me.
Keep golfing together?
Huh?
Y'all kept golfing together?
Yeah, we're going to finish the round. We're going to finish this round.
Did you golf better than him? Is the real question. Don't lie. Damn it.
No, I never. This guy's old. This dude's been golfing since I was in the 4th grade. So he's one of those guys that's consistently good, and I'm consistently inconsistent.
Nice.
So, but when he said that word, when he said the N-word, it was kind of like that Joe Rogan moment. I was like, and I even said this to him. I said, look, I said this on the podcast. If you say the N-word full out loud and you're rapping a song and we're in a car together and we're rapping and we're singing a song and you actually say the N-word, I probably wouldn't even blink twice. I wouldn't.
No.
But if you say it out of context of a song and you say, hey, I heard that on a song, why can't I say it? That tells me that you feel like you have some type of authority or some right to say a word that is full of hate and has all this connotation. And it has this connotation, but you want to feel like you want to say it anyway. And that makes me feel like you're a piece of shit.
I agree.
So I never heard of an apology from him. And I don't want to sit there and say that I won't consider him a golf buddy after this or not. But if somebody says that, you have to, in my mind, sit there and tell yourself, there are times where he's gotten mad at somebody who was a black person and said the N-word out of anger and out of hate.
Possible.
So probable and plausible.
Plausible. Yes, the 3 Ps.
So we got viewers out there. I know we got Tim, we got my wife out there. Jennifer's watching. We've had some things going on up here that were a little weird. That was kind of got us off track. It's a little weird, and people are still at the bar talking about it. But what do you say if you're sitting there and you're watching a fully, what do you call him? He's not inebriated. I don't think he was even tipsy. Making out with a. Do you think so?
Yeah, he was drunk.
So, but let me qualify this. Let me
overreacted just a little bit.
Let me qualify this. There were 2 guys sitting next to her.
Yes.
The first guy was like, he was like this. He was like, I'm out of here. This girl is, because she came over here by herself, and he was like, I'm out of here. He left with this other guy, his friend, still here. Still think it's weird to me.
Yeah, well, that's just how the cookie crumbles sometimes, brother. That's just how the cookie fucking crumbles. But yeah, man. I don't know if I got anything else in me. My damn throat's hurting. I might. So if you guys couldn't tell, I may not have been talking as much, but I actually might be getting sick right now. I think it may just be allergies, though, honestly, because my nose and my throat are killing me, and I feel like I got flu body. Jennifer, I probably gave Brian COVID. You're welcome.
So we were talking about this. I don't know if we said this on the air. How many times this year in 2022 is Trey going to catch COVID?
Oh my god!
Because you've already had it twice.
I've had it once. One time.
No, you didn't test the last time.
No, what are you talking about?
You didn't test. The one time you got sick, you didn't test for COVID, but you tested the second time and tested positive. The first time you didn't test.
I was sick for 1 day and was fine.
I know, but the first time you got sick, you didn't test yourself for COVID.
Because it wasn't COVID.
But you don't know that because you didn't test yourself.
Oh my God, Brian. Jesus.
So now here we are.
I
Throat scratchy.
That's not COVID symptoms.
Dude, it is. Have you been coughing?
No, not you giving him COVID, Jennifer. I'm saying I'm giving Brian COVID.
Oh yeah. Don't play it back before you comment. Don't sit up there and think we're saying things we're not saying.
Yeah, Jennifer.
Don't do that. I ain't gonna let them say that about you. But yeah. I think you're gonna have COVID like 4 times this year, 2022.
That's not happening.
You're gonna have the Delta. You're gonna have the Omicron, and then you're gonna have the Delta again, and then whatever new one comes out by December, you're gonna have that one too.
Oh, I think somebody is not sleeping in the bed tonight.
What are you?
Babe,
we're not saying that you gave us COVID. Nobody's saying that. That's what we're saying.
No, that's not what she's talking about. I know what she's talking. Jennifer,
there's no wow. No, Trey's a jackass. He goes home with 75-year-old women. That's what Trey is all about.
Hey.
He believes in getting women drunk and taking advantage. That's what Trey's all about.
Y'all, excuse my co-host today. He may or may not be 7.
So here's what happens when Marcus is not.
Jesus. Hey, no more drinks for him. No more. Yeah. No. No more.
Anyway, what would you have done in that situation? That's what I want to know. What would you have done?
Right there? Are you talking? Oh, you're talking about the golf course.
The N-word, yeah.
See, so here's the thing with you being, and this isn't digs at all, but you're able to hang out with a different age group than me. I don't hang out with guys who are 65 years old. I think as old as I get are pretty much around your age, right? I have friends outside of you being family that are your age as well that I hang out, that I do stuff with, because I've always been the quote unquote mature guy. But if I heard he's cut off. Oh, good mother.
I didn't leave with a 70-year-old woman.
I think he would though.
Not yet.
I think if he had the opportunity, he would. What do you think, honestly? If he was single, I think he would. Yep. Right. Thank you. Factual. I could see Brian doing that.
I'm not commenting on this subject anymore.
He already is sleeping on the couch when he gets home. That's been established. So, yeah.
No, because his comments and your comments and her comments and Joe's comments. I am jealous a little bit.
He's literally blaming everyone else but himself. How about we take some responsibility, Brian?
It was your COVID comment, because Trey said my wife's going to give me COVID. That's what that was. Trey's going to give me COVID.
For Brian, 100. No. And you lied to me, by the way. I'm pretty upset with you, to be honest. No, but those are not fucking fried pickles.
So,
dude, fried pickles are fucking circles, dude.
Hold on. Before you guys leave, let me ask you.
I know you have preferences. I'll make sure they're not spears.
So let me ask you a question.
As you brought them out, I was like, what the fuck are
Listen,
those?
stop about food for a second. This is a good segue for another podcast.
About pickles?
If you're friends with a couple and the couple breaks up, are you obligated to pick which side you belong on?
All right, so here's my opinion on that situation. You're always going to be the third wheel out. You know, if you're friends with the husband and you try to give the husband advice against the wife, eventually they get back together. Then what happens with that friendship? It falls apart because in the eyes of the relationship, you tried to get in between kind of or play both sides. You know. So in my opinion, I would always avoid having an opinion on those kinds of situations, and I would just back off and let things cool off.
So you
Unless
want
it's
to so you believe that you can stay friends with both?
Yeah, but I wouldn't give too strong. I wouldn't give too strong of opinions though. I wouldn't want to get involved in any situation.
I don't even think you can do that though. There's no way you could stay friends. If you're friends with a couple, they divorce. There is no way that you can stay friends with both of them. Because I'm friends with you. You're married to Brittany. Me and you hang out. And then you text me one day. You're like, hey, man, you want to come, blah, blah, blah. I'm like, no, man, I'm actually out here with Brittany and the kids. And you'd be like, what the fuck?
Made it as scandalous as possible.
Yes.
No, but what there's just stuff there.
Ride a bike, by the way.
Yeah.
But hold on. But here's the deal.
It's in conflict instantly. That's why it would never work. There's no way you can make that work. It's impossible.
If somebody comes to you as a friend and they want to involve you in their, whatever relationship things they got going on, then I believe that they're putting you on the spot. They're saying, I'm drawing the line in the sand, so you're going to have to pick. But if somebody goes and deals with their relationship issues on their own, and you're just an innocent bystander, I think you can still be friends.
Well, who are you friends with first? That also depends. Is this someone like my buddy? Like, I'm just, for instance, one of my best friends married, Greg, and his wife, Kirsten. Mm-hmm. If it came to choosing sides, I'm going to choose Greg's side. Right. He's my best friend, for 12 years. However long it's fucking been. Shit, we're old.
It's been a long time.
But there's no, I mean, it's not even a question whose side I would choose, No matter what the reasoning was behind it either.
Well, let me ask you this question then. If you have family members who know family, so my older brother is married and divorced. He has 4 kids, my nephews. My brother's no longer in the picture, but their mother is. We still consider her family.
I mean, that's fine.
That's what I'm saying. It's not always a gray area. I mean, it's not always black and white. It's always gray area when it comes to relationships.
I mean, my family still hangs out with Nikki. Still invites her to everything.
Oh, that's true. They do. They go to church.
At first, I thought that shit was kind of weird. I'll be completely honest.
That'd be kind of weird.
But then a maturity thing of me, I look at it like she has my child,
I'll be honest with you. Let's talk about this the next time. Because
we're about to, we got to pop smoke.
Yeah, we got to pop smoke. And I'm just going to tell you right now, I don't know how I would handle that situation. I've never had to deal.
Are you mad if you and Jennifer got divorced and I was hanging out with Jennifer?
Well,
I'd probably say yes. You would be.
No, but here's the deal. I've never had to experience it. Hypothetical is one thing.
Right.
And even when Jennifer and I dated, and then when we broke up, your dad and your stepmom were always still making sure Jennifer was okay for a little bit. And Jennifer was like, this is too close for comfort. I don't want to be around you guys because it reminds me of Brian. If first of all, I'm never going to break up with Jennifer, so that's not what I'm trying to say. But if I was in a relationship and I felt as if the relationship was ending and I felt like I still had to see this person, I don't know how I would deal with that because no relationship I've ever been in has ever been in that situation. I don't know what I would deal with. I don't know how I would deal with that. That's odd.
Fun one. What to bring? No, I'm telling you right now, and I'm telling everyone right now.
You got COVID?
There will be a female. Yeah, Jesus. I am starting to cough though. I made sure to cough your way just now.
And by the way, I've been working out. In case you guys didn't know, I've been working out. And by the end of the year, by the end of this month, I'm going to run a sub 540.
You said a 4.4.
No, I said no.
You said a 4.4.
I said by the end of February, I was going to run a sub 5 second 40.
I still don't think you'll do that, but that's okay.
I could do a 4.6, 4.7 right now. Drunk as fuck.
Right now, do it.
No,
if you do
no,
it, I give
no.
you $100.
No, not right now.
I'll give you $100 right now.
I'll probably pee myself in the parking lot.
$100 right here.
Listen, the last time, funny story. When I was single, last time I ran when I was drinking was at Wild Pitch. Third base.
You told the story.
I know. That's the last time, and I learned from my mistakes. That's the
You're
reason why
right.
I'm saying it. That's why you will never see me sit there and say, hey, on the podcast, I've been drinking some beers and stuff like that. I'm going to go out there and do a 440. Come on, man.
This guy, ladies and gentlemen, this guy right here. Oh, be sure to do it. But what I was going to say is next podcast, we will have a female with us on the podcast, and we're going to talk about that. We're going to have a woman.
About what we saw tonight?
No, talking about separating
Oh, okay.
friends, family, how that stuff works out.
Oh, okay.
I will take care of that. There will be someone here.
I was going to say, because if you need somebody, I got a neighbor.
Or that. Yeah, bring the neighbor on. Let's make it happen. We need to find people who've been married and got divorced. Or at least been in a relationship, has a child, stuff like that.
I would love to find somebody who is like what men will call divorce crazy, and be like, oh, like my stuff doesn't stink, and my husband was this, and bash men. I want a male basher so that I can actually go head to head with them. Because I have an ex that's, to be in my mind, she's crazy. But that's another story. We'll talk about that later. There are viewers out there tonight. We appreciate you. We've seen
Appreciate
some
it.
comments. I think my wife got a little offended by some of the things you said, Trey. You told her that you gave me COVID, so
was not what
she
I
did not
said.
give me COVID. So unfortunately, you misspoke and you apologized profusely.
Tim, I disagree with you highly, brother. It's actually impossible to do something like that. That's not a mature grow-up situation.
Well, you're
But we're gonna talk about
Well,
that.
yeah,
next week.
we're gonna
I'm just
talk
gonna
about-
tell you, Tim, you're wrong.
We're going to talk about that.
All right, brother.
By the way, Tim, if you've got a heavy opinion, I think Tim is. By the way, Tim married my wife and me and my wife, so he's a pastor. So
Great.
you cannot talk about the clergy in that manner, Trey.
No.
So I think Mr. Pastor Tim should be on the podcast.
Says to kill certain people, and then it
But
says don't kill people.
But he also. But hold on, Trey.
Hold on.
Hold on, Trey. You ready for this one?
I'm sorry.
Are you
I'm
ready?
just
Hold on.
not moving.
Are you ready? Are you ready for this one? He also married EJ on his last marriage, so it doesn't matter. It's a
All right, ladies and
reflection.
gentlemen.
It's a reflection of Tim. It's a reflection on Tim. That's all I'm saying. So Tim's clergy. Mad at none. Jennifer's like, I'm good. Yeah, I'm gonna sleep on the couch. Thanks.
Damn, I was hoping Jennifer would whoop your ass when you got home. Damn it. I was hoping she was going to be on your ass. I was going to actually just, say, hey, I'll follow you home. Make sure you get home okay, just so I can watch it unfold.
You hear my screamings. Hear my screams when I get home.
Hit him with that left again, Jennifer. The left.
All right. So anyway,
Go in.
all the fun and games. We saw some things tonight that we're going to have to talk about next week.
Yeah.
We're going to be here again. Hopefully, we won't have to have this conversation in front of law enforcement officers. But I'm just trying to say, it was great. It was a good time. We had some viewers tonight, and if you didn't watch us live, watch us again on YouTube. We're on Facebook. We're on Twitch. So hopefully you guys will come up and see us again next week. We're on Uncorked. We're on Virginia and the corner of Virginia and Custer, right across from the Taco Bell, right across the street from the Home Depot. Come back and see us. Trey, last comments? Anything you want to say before we leave?
Safe this week, like I said. If it ices, whatever, if you need something, message the Drinks and Discussions page. If you need help, I will be able to get around and get to you.
Absolutely. I will not be, but I will make sure Trey gets the message. And we are also the community type page. So if there's anything in the community that you guys need, regardless of the ice storm, if you guys need something help with your living situations, your kids, or anything like that, let's talk about those types of things. We're a community type podcast. We want to give back to our community. That's what we're doing this stuff. It's not all about drinks. It's not always about, just our problems. Let's talk about your problems. Let's bring it to the forefront. If we can get you guys some help, Let's do it. And I know on our last podcast with my other co-hosts, we always talk about mental health issues and all that kind of stuff. And those are the things that we're going to talk about moving forward. These things matter to people and they matter to you. And if they matter to you, they matter to us. We'll discuss them. We've been more than happy to talk about them. So alongside Trey, Marcus is not with us. We miss him. We'll talk to him again next week. We'll see you guys again next Tuesday.